I did video, I sent it to him, I took pictures of everything operating and blamed us, saying that we were there 4 times, the electronics aren't working, we did a poor job to install. So I was pretty tore up. Well, we're quitting another client. He ran his boat aground and he blamed us for some electronics that we put in, but it wasn't our fault. We proved that, and he kind of apologized. The sour taste is in my mouth and I don't trust him really. We quit.
Yeah, I saw this over here and I wanted to show you. You believe that?
This is my theory, and you guys give me your theories. Tell me if you think I'm right. Sorry about the noise. It's Sound of Freedom. The Navy jets are out dogfighting today, and they're just coming back. But let's discuss this damage. I don't think they ran aground because it stops right back there. What I think happened was they had dropped the anchor maybe, and the boat was swinging around, and the chain, and it must have been stormy maybe, and the chain got at this. That's my theory. Although I don't know, there's damage back here, which, see, I don't really see any scratches in the gel coat on here. That's why I'm curious. And then you can see this was some kind of impact damage right here. And I'm just not sure how they would have.
Beauty little boat.
Sure, yeah, nice, beautiful Boston whaler. You know, we're fond of these. Oh, shoot. I know whose boat this is.
Oh, darn. What happened? When you live in a small town, sometimes it can.
I've actually worked on this boat.
And this is our customers.
But we don't do glass work, and this might be insurance, or maybe we didn't hear about it yet, but I will call him and ask him what happened. Okay, I have another theory. He keeps this on a rack behind his house. And I wonder if
the
rack was not all the way in the down position. I wonder if it was part way up and he drove up on it and it. So that's my second thought. Now that I know whose boat this is and where it stays, first thing was the anchor chain, but now with these marks back here, second thing would be the driving up on the boat ramp or the boat lift with the lift partially out of the water. That's too bad.
Okay, so we just got in the truck and went for a ride, and Matt made his phone call to call our customer.
Okay, my first theory was wrong. It wasn't the anchor chain. My second theory was correct. The lift broke. Somehow, I don't understand the metrics of the whole thing, but they drove the boat up and the lift was not in the correct position because one of the main arms broke. Because when they installed the lift for that boat, the lift manufacturer miscalculated either the position or the weight of something, and that's what caused the arm to break. I think it fell or they drove up on it. I couldn't figure that out with the owner. Yeah, 26 grand to fix the boat. That damage, $26,000.
It's a lot of sanding, grinding, and
remember us
gel
talking
coat
about owning a boat and the costs of owning a boat? Whew. Wow, 26 grand. Let me think about that. Is like that new Mercury 225 horsepower white outboard that I have in the box there that I'm going to put on our whaler. That was 26 grand. Just think of that. 26 grand. That's a good used car too. My forklift cost, I've had it for a couple of years, but when I bought it was 26,000. Yeah. So imagine that. But the guy that's doing the repairs is very good. I know him. I've known him for years, and he's the best down here in Key West. So it'd be in good hands. And luckily, the owner's not paying for it. The lift company is paying for it all. Remember what I said about when you do something wrong, you got to make it right? That's my policy. If you do something wrong and it costs you, you got to make it right. Doesn't matter what it costs. Well, it sounds like this lift company is doing that, which is good on them.
for sure.
Oh, and by the way, that is his brand new Boston whaler. He just got it like last week. Well, somebody got a pretty little Boston whaler here. 19-foot Montauk. Just got this. I saw them unloading this yesterday on the off the trailer. No T-top though, but it is a small boat. This is my buddy George. He does glass repair, so he's working on this big whaler that broke the arm on the lift at my client's house. Filling and fairing. This is all looking good. You'll be done in no time.
I wish.
Another couple days?
No. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, wow. Oh, well, yeah, you got to do all the back, too. All right, he's coming along, making good progress. Beautiful boat, as you can see. There's been some problems with the air conditioning chilled water plant. See this right here? Hopefully you can see that temperature. It's 93.6 is the supply, and the return is 103.3. So that's for chiller 1. What I did was, let me show you what chiller 2 is. So it's 103.5 and 103.8. So there's almost no split on chiller 2, but there's a 10-degree split almost on chiller 1. So I suspect that chilled water supply temp sensor is bad. How I figured that out was I turned off both chillers. So now we're going to go into cool mode again. Enter. So now both chillers will come back on. I'm going to go into programming, and I've got to go to pump. Now we're going to go into pump control. Yesterday I manually turned on the pump, the chilled water pump, not the salt water pump, the chilled water pump I turned on to continuous just to have circulation through the system to check those temp sensors. So now we're going to turn those back to manual control off, manual position off, chilled water pump status on. So now we go escape, 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 and go down here. Chilled water pump is on, salt water pump is on. Our VARC 1 has not come on yet, and our VARC 2, our compressor 2, is online. The boat's pretty warm, so I'd imagine that both VARCs will come online. Maybe not VARC 1 because of that temp sensor. Anyways, let's go down here now, and we are going to pull the bunk apart to get into the unit. Got my YouTube viewer supplied electric screwdriver. Helps saves my wrists. I got to work under here. I can't get to anything with that cover on there, so I got to see if I can get this cover off. So moving mattresses like these, they're all foam mattresses.
They're heavy.
They're really heavy. It's like moving dead bodies.
Yeah.
There, we have some of these. You guys know what this is? Somebody tell me what that is. Very handy to have. There we go.
See this? Completely dry. Very nice. So what are you doing? You need to go in here and change out a part?
Yeah, there's a temp sensor that I'm gonna have to.
And you have the part with you?
No, but I have to get the serial number off the plant to verify that it's the right part number.
Gotcha.
Dometic is covering all this because he's been having problems with this for years. And not to mention it's a Marlowe yacht. That's the manufacturer.
Is that custom?
No, they're just very high end. There it is. I see it. So you see right there, it says inlet. So this is return. This then, if you see up there, says outlet. So that's supply. So then you see this thing right here. That's the temp sensor. It's a probe that goes into the water pipe. It's not reading correctly. So I have to go to the truck. Actually, I think I have to go back to the shop and see if I have that. A little excited right now. We just got a phone call from a client of ours a few months ago. They came to us. They have an older boat, mid-80s, I think, if I remember right. They wanted us to fix their old electronics, and they were like from the 80s. I said, absolutely not going to touch them. They said, okay, well, let's put in new. So we put in a new Garmin GPS and a new Garmin radar. They just sent me a strange text message and said that we've been over there 4 times working on the GPS to make it work right. It's worked right since the day we installed it. I'm not sure what's going on there, but now come to find out that he said he was out on the boat driving somewhere doing something. The GPS would not turn on. Well, first off, when he's out driving around, why wasn't it on to begin with? I have a feeling that it's operator error or there's something else wrong with the boat somewhere. Manny's over there now, and we're going to take a look, and we are going to take pictures, we're going to video, we're going to document everything. I have to say this very carefully because I don't want to offend anybody. He is an older gentleman and he struggles with technology. So I have a feeling that he did not indoctrinate himself well enough with the operation of this, and he doesn't know how to work it, and that's why what happened there. I could be wrong, but that's why I'm going over there personally, and I'm going to inspect it. We'll make it right. And if it wasn't us, then we will talk with the owner and explain to him what happened. We'll send him video and pictures and make sure he understands. So he said that we've been over there working on this GPS 4 times, Manny. He said it wouldn't turn on. Seems to be working perfectly, right?
This boat doesn't have a transducer.
Yeah, well, okay, so it doesn't have a transducer, so it's not showing feet. But let me just tell you, okay, so this was a known problem. It's on the invoice that he knew he didn't have a sounder before because there was none available on the boat. He didn't want to haul the boat because of the cost. Now he says that the GPS isn't working. You can see that we're up on the hard here at Buddy's Boatyard. On the screen, we're up on the hard at Buddy's Boatyard. So unfortunately, I think he's got some operator error going on, maybe lack of how to use the system. I'm going to take some photos and send it to him, and he can decide what he wants to do. But I don't appreciate being blamed. I will have that conversation with him. So we're divorcing another client. Spoke briefly earlier about a boat that we did a bunch of work on. Not a bunch, but we put in new electronics and stuff like that. The owner decided he did not want a depth finder put in at that time because of money. And he promptly called us and blamed us, saying that we were there 4 times, the electronics aren't working, we did a poor job to install. Got on board, I did video, I sent it to him, I took pictures of everything operating, and everything worked. Well, so I sent that to him, and he gets back to me, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad with technology," okay, because you blamed me for something and it wasn't true. The boat got hauled out, he asked us to put a sounder in. And he said, "Well, how much is that going to cost?" Did up a rough estimate, and once it done as soon as possible, doesn't want to pay us the whole amount. I'm uncomfortable. He's uncomfortable with us. I'm uncomfortable with him. He, in my opinion, is upset that he ran aground, which I get, but he's also looking to blame anybody but himself. We did exactly what he wanted. Everything works good. We did good work. We did a nice job. I stand by the quality of it. Sometimes got to cut the cord. Anyways, I sent him the estimate, and I doubt I'll get paid for my time to make that estimate up. Sometimes it's best just to move on.
Quit.
We're going to put that in, and hopefully this solves all the problems. So this is a chilled water temp sensor. The one that's in the boat has been reading wrong. The split is too much, so the resistance value is out on the probe that's in there. So we have to take that probe out and put this probe in. Pulling the cover off so I can get to the inside here. Chase some wire for that temp sensor. So I got to get that out from down there and put this in. Then I got to run these wires up in here, up to here, and then I can cut and splice this to that. Especially with this all buried in here, it's a lot easier said than done. Definitely got the right wire. I'm going to turn off the air conditioning. I'm going to have to cut this insulation to get to it. Good thing I travel with a knife. Okay, we found it. Just had to do some digging. And unfortunately, oh my goodness, they have put...
On the other side of the unit, against the wall.
They're back there. Oh man. Here's my dilemma. So this one's bad. You're probably like, oh, just cut the wires and splice it. Well, when you do that, it changes the resistance value, and these run off of resistance value. And if I change it, I can see the wires down there, but I'm not going to get to them without removing this unit, which I am probably not wanting to do that. So that's the temp sensor. See, water supply sensor. It's just a little metal thing, and it's got, that stuff is thermal paste so to help makes the temperature conduct better. Okay, so I explained to you that I can't get to where this connects back there behind this unit without removing this whole unit, which includes all this plumbing. I'm not doing it. I called the medic. They say it's not recommended, but I'm going to cut and splice this and splice in the new temp sensor to the old wire, and we'll see what we get from that. Let me go get some butt splices. All right, just splicing this back together. Crimp that one on. Now let's get this side and put him in the hole and crimp that back on and tuck that back in there, and then we'll get moving to the other one.
You put me to work.
Yeah, I did. So my hand was too big, so she's down there now.
Okay, the only problem is that when I go to pull my hand out, it's taking it with it.
Is it in the hole?
Hang on.
Yep, it's in its hole.
No, it wasn't easy. I'll probably have a black and blue arm.
Okay, now that's hooked up, that's in, that's spliced together. Let's go turn this thing on and see what it's gonna read. So what should have been a simple job got way difficult. It took me almost 2 hours, something I thought was gonna take about 30. But it's in, it seems to be running. I need to go upstairs and check and see if there's any faults, but I'm not going to close up all the furniture just in case it faults out again.
Will you come back and check it?
Yeah, tomorrow or something.
Getting all your snivels?
Yep, all my little wire strippings. I don't leave any of that stuff behind. That's why you always check. Always got to be checking. I'm gonna come back tomorrow, I guess. I'll go check it right now, but it needs to run overnight to see if it has its problems. Ooh, snake, 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 snake.
Snake? Yeah.
Black racer just went in there. I see his tail right there. Oh, we got to go all the way over there.
Just got overexcited.
Yep,
Thought I was going to be able to punch bug you.
Nope, they've been gone. I've been watching. No punch bug.
What we got going on today?
So we are replacing drainers, pumps, hoses, and air conditioning units. So the end goal is to replace all 3 of them. But today, because we only have 2, replacing an 8,000 and a 10,000 unit because that's what we have right now. And about 2 days ago, we did a half haul with the boat, changed out the ball fitting, so brand new ball valves, pretty much all the way up to the ACs is all getting replaced.
So, little update. This is all ready to go, all loose, ready to be taken out. All this is unhooked and labeled and good to go. Chris is still working away on his pump, but it's looking pretty good. And then after I'm done with that one, I'm going to tackle this one. But I wanted a seat for this one. So the new unit is in. Right now I'm working on the wiring. Whenever I do wiring, I like to just write out little things like orange wire and where it goes, and then I don't really have to stress about it too much because it's all right here. But yeah, this is going along quite smoothly. I just need to hook up the air duct, the drain, the in and out, and the feet for the unit itself to bolt it down, and then move on to the next one. Alright, so I have the second air conditioning somewhat in place. First one is completely done. Chris finished his pump and all of his creativity over here.
Oh, my other, yeah. Well, not just the pump, but a brand new strainer, and not a replacement strainer, but a change up the strainer. So we had to do new mounting, new hoses, new routing, and then we had to put a T-fitting and a ball valve in there. So his strainer will also provide water to a water maker. It wasn't just a replacement, it was a complete new install on the fly.
You did a pretty good job, I would say.
Average at best. Yeah, except now all I have to do is replace one for one. These were the original strainers. They're coming out, so then we're mounting, and then this one actually I'm going to probably mount it up here. Mount the new strainer here, run a new fitting, new hoses. This is going to be a little bit more straightforward.
All right.
So we are all bundled up, and 60. It's probably just now 60. Hopefully the sun peaks itself out today, but still not a bad day to be working. So today we are replacing the steering ram on an old Dusky. So it just had enough leaks in it. With these steering rams, a lot of times you can get rebuild kits for them, but in my experience, they usually don't last because there's usually a problem with the cylinder that has caused the leak, and just putting new caps and whatnot on usually they just buy you time until you have to replace the whole cylinder anyway. So today we're going to replace the steering cylinder on there. So first step is pull the old one out, put the new one in, and then once we're done, we got our power purge here, which I believe is the easiest and best way to purge all the air out of your system. Op test it and get this boat back on its way. All right, so we have the new cylinder installed and this Yamaha 250. Right now you can see we've got the power purge hooked up and it's humming away. We got AJ at the helm diligently going left and right because it was a new installation. It was going to have a lot of air in it. We put the power purge on there, and what that does is it pushes fluid under pressure at the helm, pushes it through the entire system all the way back to the cylinders, and because it's just two cables, the air has nowhere to go except for out of these bleeders. So we crack these bleeders, and this is basically the return. So fluid gets pushed into the helm, through the actual hydraulic lines, back to the cylinder, to here, out through the bleeder, and then back to its reservoir. So you don't end up wasting any, and you pretty much get an entire fluid change anytime you do this. So some of the downsides you do got to worry about is if your system was severely compromised and you have a lot of salt water or dirt or debris inside of your hydraulic system, you will actually end up pushing it back into your power purge there. So just got to be careful. But it looks like I'm not seeing any more air bubbles come out of here, so I think we're good to go.
Somebody sent us something. I don't know what it is. We'll find out. Thank you. Matt and Carrie Ann, please enjoy. Mike, Alberta, Canada. Wow. All the way from Canada. Thanks for watching, Mike. Appreciate that. Castaway action. He sent us a little, I think this is a little, hang on. What do you guys think this is? I think I know what it is. It's a little boat. Oh, it's cast iron or something. It's heavy. We're going to have to find a shelf to put this on. Wow, look at the detail on this thing. It's crazy.
Nice little thing. Huh?
Yeah, bass boat. Yep. Look at that.
Dale Earnhardt.
Yep. Oh,
Junior.
geez. Even the little doors open. Look at that. Trolling motor deploys. It's got the batteries in the back, fuel tank, rod holder. So a long time ago, there was a boat down here called She's a Hooker, and it was a piece of junk. When I say piece of junk, I mean this thing was a piece of junk. It was dirty, it was ugly, it was wore out and in terrible shape. Look at that trailer. Look at the detail on this is crazy. Very cool. Thanks, Mike. We'll have to find a place to put this thing up out of the way so the guys don't destroy it. Yep, Dale Earnhardt Jr. bass boat, Nitro brand. Tilt trim works, steering works. Oh, Mike, you're too much. Thank you so much. Maybe we should make a little shelf like right up here. Yeah, I don't know if we'd see it that good.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a shelf like right here. And we could look at it. People send us stuff, and I really appreciate it. It's very humbling. Kind of makes this all worthwhile some days. Very cool. I just wanted to ask for a favor. If you could, subscribe, thumbs up, share, ring the bell, notification thing. We really appreciate it. It really helps. The channel's really momentum thanks to you guys. Appreciate it.